This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. 4 Klonsmen accused freed. 4 of the defendants who were before the court in the Klonsmen Wondon gang trial were this morning freed of gang-related charges. 6 of the 25 counts that were leveled against the 33 alleged members of the gang have been struck out by the prosecution due to insufficient or lack of evidence. Interestingly, alleged gang leader Andre Blackman Bryan was indicted on 5 of those counts. This morning, Quartet Damian Elliston, Rasheen Williams, Rivaldo Hilton, and Owen Armsby were found not guilty by Chief Justice Brian Sykes after the Crown indicated that it did not have sufficient evidence to prove its case against the men ahead of no-case submissions from defense lawyers. All 4 were freed of being a part of a criminal organization. Elliston was also freed of 2 counts in relation to his alleged participation in 2 murders. Armsby was also freed in relation to 2 murders, one of which he was charged with a conspiracy. Hilton and Williams were also freed of murder in relation to the death of 2 men who were killed in Spanish Town, St. Catherine. Hilton was also found not guilty in relation to his alleged participation in a murder arson in Twickenham Park, St. Catherine, in which a couple was killed and their house set ablaze. Meanwhile, the Crown has indicated that it won't be pursuing the following counts on the indictment. Count 3, a charge of illegal possession. Count 4, the murder of a man called Wee Wee. Count 9, arson. Count 10, the murder of a man at a tire shop in Spanish Town, St. Catherine. Count 16, a murder conspiracy charge in relation to a man called Yaya. And Count 18, a murder committed in Spanish Town, St. Catherine. Additionally, the prosecution has also conceded that it has failed to prove its case against more than one of the defendants in relation to several of the remaining counts. Man hospitalized after being shot and robbed in Temple Hall. A man is in hospital after being attacked in Temple Hall, St. Andrew on Wednesday. It is reported that about 3:10 p.m. he was driving his motorcycle along the Temple Hall main road when he was hit by men traveling in a motor car. He was then shot in the abdomen and his motorcycle stolen. The man was rushed to the hospital after a motorist took him to the Stony Hill police station. Investigations are ongoing. Motorcyclist dies after crashing into pedestrian. A motorcyclist died on the Paradise Main Road in Westmoreland after hitting a pedestrian on Wednesday morning. The deceased has been identified as 67-year-old Gifford Ricketts, a laborer of Smithfield, Westmoreland. It is reported that Mr. Ricketts hit the pedestrian after she stepped into the path of the motorcycle. Mr. Ricketts was flung from the vehicle. Both persons sustained injuries and were taken to the hospital. Mr. Ricketts was pronounced dead and the pedestrian admitted. Trial date to be set for businessman B.G. Stout and co-accused. A trial date is to be set on July 6 for Portland businessman Everton B.G. Stout MacDonald, who is charged for the deaths of his wife and ex-wife. This morning, the Home Circuit Court was told that there are no outstanding materials and that the Crown can proceed with its case. MacDonald is jointly charged with Oscar Barnes for the July 20, 2020 murder of the businessman's second wife, Tonya Hamilton MacDonald. Barnes, who is represented by attorney Ernest Davis, finally took up his $500,000 bail offer that had been granted since May 2021. He appeared in court in person for the first time since he was arrested. His bail was extended. Tonya's partially burnt body was found with her throat slashed beside her burnt car along the Sherwood Forest main road. Another man, Devlin Minot, said to be the contract killer, was also charged and pleaded guilty in the Home Circuit Court last September and was sentenced to 19 years in prison. Minot, in a witness statement, claimed that he was offered $3 million by MacDonald to kill his wife. MacDonald, 68, who appeared in court today remotely, is also charged for the murder of his first wife, Merlene Petal MacDonald. Merlene was shot dead outside her home in Bound Brook, Portland. It is alleged that MacDonald paid a police detective to kill his wife after their marriage crumbled and she left the matrimonial home. He is being represented by Earl Hamilton in both murders. A plea and a case management hearing is set for both matters on July 6. Justice Vinette Graham Allen told the MacDonald that he was further remanded until July 6. The Major Investigation Division investigating officer was present and bound over to appear on the next date. 3 now dead from Rose Heights birthday party shooting. The death count from yesterday's shooting at a birthday party in Rose Heights, St. James, has climbed to 3. A woman is the latest fatal victim. 4 other persons were hospitalized following the incident, believed to be gang-related. One of the 2 deceased men was allegedly a member of the gang that operates out of the area, a highly placed police source said. The alleged gang leader was reportedly shot during the incident that occurred at a birthday party at a house in the Mall Road area of the community. The Jamaica Constabulary Forces Corporate Communications Unit has confirmed the incident, but said late yesterday it had no further details. Initial reports said 5 persons were shot, 1 fatally. However, officials at the Cornwall Regional Hospital in the parish indicated that 7 persons were brought in and 2 have since been pronounced dead. The gunmen allegedly went into a home at approximately 4 p.m. and opened fire on at least 5 persons who were inside, reports say. Body found in Spalding's, Clarendon. The body of a man believed to be mentally ill was found in Spalding's in the vicinity of the Knoxville College campus in Clarendon this morning. The name of the deceased has not yet been released. A passerby stumbled upon the body at approximately 4 a.m. and alerted the police, according to reports. The deceased is said to have sustained an injury to the head and appeared to have been hit with a stone. Bleaching cream at the center of dispute between Skeng and the Port Authority, says cops. Police sources have confirmed that an oversized bleaching cream is at the center of a dispute which saw dancehall artist Skeng being dragged off a flight destined for Trinidad on Tuesday. According to the source, the artist was being escorted through the airport because he was late for the flight. It is reported that while going through Port's security corps, an oversized container of bleaching cream was found in his luggage. Travel-sized liquids, gels, creams, and paste that are approved for travel should be 3.4 ounces or 100 milliliter or less. The artist was reportedly told that the cream would either be confiscated or he could try to have it added to a checked bag. It is alleged that the artist began behaving boisterously and disorderly. He was pulled from the flight. Skeng was later charged with disorderly behavior and resisting arrest. The artist, whose real name is Kevon Douglas, was offered bail and is slated to appear before the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on June 21, 2022. Skeng and 2 members of his entourage were expected to be on a flight to Trinidad and Tobago, where he is scheduled to perform for the first time. The 2-day event called the Revival, the Return of Dancehall, was scheduled to happen this weekend at Ranch Setters in Valencia on May 28 and at Space La Noba nightclub in San Fernando. Skeng was named the headliner for both dates. Skeng is known for the single Protocol with Tommy Lee Sparta, Heaven Passport with Intense, Gunman Shift, London, and Street Cred. Portmore serial rapist pleads guilty to another attack. Shadane Harris, the 28-year-old man who raped and terrorized women in a series of incidents in Portmore, St. Catherine, has pleaded guilty to another sexual attack. Last week, Harris, who was a gym instructor, appeared before the gun court where he pleaded guilty to rape and illegal possession of a firearm and ammunition. He is to return to the gun court for sentencing on July 1. In March, Harris pleaded guilty to various counts of sexual crimes and burglary when he appeared before the St. Catherine Circuit Court. He is to be sentenced on June 24. Harris, who was captured in 2019, has so far pleaded guilty to 6 counts of rape, 4 counts of grievous sexual assault, 9 counts of burglary and larceny, and wounding with intent after he stabbed one of his victims. Investigators reported that from 2014 to 2019, Harris targeted single women by breaking into their homes and sexually assaulting them at knife point. COVID-positive students must not be turned away from exams, says Williams. Education Minister Favour Williams says students with an active COVID-19 infection must not be turned away from examinations. She made the statement while speaking with journalists as she sought to reassure Jamaicans that guidelines have been put in place to facilitate those suspected of or who are COVID-19 positive. There are certain protocols we have to observe. We are prepared for any eventuality. We are prepared for the exam season, Williams said. According to the Overseas Examinations Commission, the guidelines to be observed during the examinations period are: a classroom must be explicitly designated for suspected students and be deemed an isolation room. This classroom must be separate from the main examination rooms and be well ventilated. Another classroom must be designated for COVID-positive students and be deemed an isolation room. This room should not house suspected students, be separate from the main examination rooms, and be well ventilated. There should be no interaction among persons in the isolation room. Desks and chairs must be placed at least 6 feet apart. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.